What if I told you space isn't just a vast, beautiful expanse of stars and galaxies, but a terrifying, merciless void filled with things that could wipe us out in an instant? Rogue black holes, deadly gamma-ray bursts, and invisible forces shaping the universe. Space is far scarier than any horror movie. And the best part? We're completely powerless against it. Today, we're diving into the 8 most terrifying things lurking in space, and trust me, you'll never look at the night sky the same way again. Ready to explore the dark side of the universe? Let's begin. Rogue black holes. Alright, imagine this. A monstrous black hole, completely unhinged, drifting through space with no warning, no set path, and nothing stopping it. Unlike the ones chilling at the center of galaxies, rogue black holes are cosmic wanderers, silent, invisible, and devastating. Scientists believe there are millions of these roaming through our galaxy alone. That's right, millions. Now here's the terrifying part. These things don't just sit there, they move. If one were ever to pass close to our solar system, its immense gravity could rip planets out of orbit, or even send Earth spiraling into deep space. And the worst part? We wouldn't see it coming. Black holes don't emit light, making them nearly impossible to detect until they start warping the space around them. The only reason we know rogue black holes exist is because scientists have observed stars behaving strangely, suddenly speeding up or bending their trajectory as if an invisible force was yanking them. That's a telltale sign that something dark, something unseen, is lurking nearby. So, what's stopping a rogue black hole from one day wandering too close to Earth? Nothing. And that's what makes them so terrifying. Gamma-ray bursts. Imagine waking up one morning, stepping outside, and boom, the sky lights up with an intense flash of energy. No warning, no escape, just a blinding burst of cosmic radiation that wipes out everything in its path. That's a gamma-ray burst, GRB, one of the most powerful and terrifying events in the universe. GRBs are like space's deadliest sniper shots, fired from collapsing stars or merging neutron stars. These bursts release more energy in a few seconds than our sun will in its entire lifetime. If a gamma-ray burst ever hit Earth head-on, it wouldn't just scorch the surface. It could strip away our atmosphere, exposing us to lethal radiation and making life impossible. And here's the truly scary part. We wouldn't even see it coming. These bursts travel at the speed of light, meaning by the time we detected one heading our way, it would have already arrived. There'd be no chance to react, no time to hide, just a flash, and then nothing. Luckily, most gamma-ray bursts happen far away in distant galaxies. But what if one were aimed at us from a nearby supernova? Scientists say it's rare, but not impossible. And considering how little control we have over cosmic disasters, that's more than enough to send chills down your spine. Dark matter. Alright, let's talk about something truly creepy. Dark matter. It's everywhere, surrounding us, lurking in the universe, yet we can't see it, touch it, or even detect it directly. It's like the ghost of the cosmos, silently shaping entire galaxies while remaining completely invisible. And here's the kicker, there's 5 times more dark matter than normal matter. That means everything we can see, stars, planets, galaxies, only makes up a tiny fraction of the universe. The rest? An invisible force we barely understand. But if we can't see dark matter, how do we know it exists? Because galaxies behave weirdly. The way they spin defies the laws of physics, unless there's some unseen mass holding them together. It's like watching a Ferris wheel spin way too fast without flying apart. Something has to be keeping it intact. That's something, dark matter. Now here's where it gets terrifying. Dark matter could be right here, right now, passing through us like a ghost. Scientists believe trillions of tiny dark matter particles may be zipping through your body every second without you even noticing. It's there, we just don't know what it is, where it came from, or what it might be capable of. The universe is mostly made of something invisible, something we don't understand, and if that doesn't send chills down your spine, I don't know what will. The Great Attractor. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that our entire galaxy, the Milky Way, is speeding towards something massive, something unseen, something so powerful that even light itself can't escape its grasp. Sounds like the plot of a sci-fi horror movie, right? Well, it's real, and scientists call it the Great Attractor. Right now, our galaxy, and millions of others, are hurtling through space at 1.3 million miles per hour toward a mysterious region of the universe. But here's the terrifying part. We don't even know what it is. This thing is so massive that it's warping space itself, pulling entire galactic clusters toward it like some cosmic magnet. So what is the great attractor? A supermassive black hole? A galaxy-eating void? Something we haven't even discovered yet? Scientists have no definitive answer. The worst part? We can't even see it. It's hidden behind the dense dust and stars of the Milky Way, locked away in a region ominously called the zone of avoidance, because even our best telescopes struggle to peer through. The great attractor is out there, waiting, pulling us closer with every passing second. And while it won't consume us in our lifetime, one thing's for sure, something gigantic and powerful is lurking in the dark, and we have no idea what it wants. Zombie stars. Just when you think a star's dead and gone, it comes back. Not as the bright, life-giving giant it once was, but as something far more terrifying. These are zombie stars, cosmic corpses that refuse to stay dead. Sounds like a horror movie? Well, space has its own version of the undead, and it's just as creepy. Here's how it happens. A white dwarf, what's left of a dying star, should just fade away into darkness. But sometimes it refuses to go quietly. Instead, it feeds. If there's another star nearby, this dead star starts pulling matter from its companion, growing in mass until, boom, it explodes in a violent supernova, only to leave behind another undead remnant. This cycle of destruction and rebirth keeps happening, making these stars the ultimate cosmic survivors. And if that wasn't eerie enough, there's a special kind of zombie star called a magnetar. This thing has a magnetic field a quadrillion times stronger than Earth's, capable of tearing apart atoms and frying electronics from hundreds of light years away. If one of these ever went off near our solar system, it could literally erase everything in an instant. So yeah, the next time you look up at the stars, just remember, some of them shouldn't even be alive. But they are, and they're still hungry. Rogue planets. Imagine a planet, a cold, lifeless, wandering world drifting alone through the darkness of space. No sun to warm it, no orbit to keep it anchored, no light to illuminate its surface, just an endless journey through the void. These are rogue planets, cosmic orphans that have been violently ejected from their home star systems, doomed to wander the galaxy forever. Scientists estimate there could be billions of these rogue planets floating unseen in the Milky Way. Some are gas giants, massive and storm-ridden like Jupiter, while others are rocky, Earth-like worlds, frozen solid in the eternal night. But here's the terrifying part. Some of them could be passing right through our solar system and we might never even know. Since they don't emit light, they're nearly impossible to detect unless they block out a distant star as they move. Now think about this. What if one of these rogue planets was headed toward us? Even a near miss could disrupt Earth's orbit, throwing our planet into chaos. And if one actually collided, it would be game over. No warning, no escape. Just an unseen, drifting world appearing out of the darkness, sealing our fate before we even knew it was there. Cosmic void. Imagine floating through space, but instead of stars, planets, or galaxies surrounding you, there's nothing. No light, no warmth. Just an endless, infinite darkness, stretching in every direction. Welcome to the cosmic voids, the loneliest and most terrifying places in the universe. These voids are massive. We're talking hundreds of millions of light years wide, completely devoid of galaxies, matter, or even dark matter. One of the largest, the Butte's void, is so empty that if our galaxy were inside it, we wouldn't have discovered another galaxy until the year 3000. Just try to wrap your head around that level of isolation. But here's the real nightmare fuel. Why do these voids exist? Scientists don't fully understand how such enormous regions ended up with almost nothing in them. Some theories suggest they're just extreme examples of how the universe formed, but others? Some believe they could be leftover scars from something even bigger, something that may have altered the structure of space itself. And if you think falling into a black hole is scary, imagine drifting into one of these cosmic voids. No gravity to pull you anywhere, no planets to land on, just infinite nothingness, forever. That's true horror, not death, but endless existence in the absolute absence of everything. Andromeda. Right now, at this very moment, a monster is heading straight for us. A cosmic titan, home to 1 trillion stars, moving at 250,000 miles per hour, locked in a collision course with our own Milky Way. That monster? The Andromeda Galaxy. It's the biggest, closest, and deadliest threat to our galaxy. And there's absolutely nothing we can do to stop it. In about 4.5 billion years, Andromeda will smash into the Milky Way in an apocalyptic merger that will completely reshape the night sky. The sheer gravitational chaos will rip apart solar systems, throw planets into deep space, and ignite a massive wave of new star formation. but at a cost. Some stars, including possibly our Sun, could be flung into the abyss, left to drift endlessly between galaxies. And here's the eerie part. This isn't speculation, this is guaranteed to happen. Scientists have mapped Andromeda's trajectory with terrifying precision. Every second, it creeps closer, its spiral arms stretching toward us like a predator about to strike. But don't worry, you won't be around to see it. By the time Andromeda arrives, Earth itself might already be uninhabitable. So, in the grand scheme of things, maybe the universe is doing us a favor, wiping the slate clean before the real chaos begins. And that's just a glimpse of the terrifying mysteries lurking in space. The universe is vast, unpredictable, and full of things we barely understand. But that's what makes it so fascinating, right? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the dark side of the cosmos, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more mind-blowing space and futuristic tech content. What's the scariest space phenomenon to you? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, stay curious. What if I told you that at this very moment a ticking time bomb is lurking in space? One so powerful, it could wipe out life on Earth in an instant. No, it's not an asteroid or a rogue planet. It's something far more explosive. A supernova. These stellar explosions unleash more energy in seconds than our sun will produce in its entire lifetime. But how close would one have to be to actually end us? And are there any stars near Earth that are on the edge of destruction? Buckle up because this is about to get intense. What is a supernova? Imagine this, a massive star, burning bright for millions of years, suddenly explodes with the force of 1 billion nuclear bombs. One moment it's there, shining in the night sky, and the next, boom! It erupts in a spectacular explosion, outshining entire galaxies. That, my friends, is a supernova, one of the most powerful and destructive events in the universe. But why does this happen? Well, stars aren't immortal. They live, they burn, and eventually they die. When a massive star at least 8 times the size of our sun runs out of fuel, it can no longer hold itself together. Gravity takes over, crushing the core in an instant. This triggers an explosion so powerful that it sends shockwaves across space, scattering elements that will later form new stars, planets, and even life itself. And get this, supernovae are the reason we exist. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, even the gold in your jewelry, all came from the heart of an exploding star. Pretty wild, right? But here's the real question. Could a supernova wipe out life on Earth? How close would it need to be? And are there any ticking time bombs lurking in our cosmic neighborhood? Stick around because things are about to get even crazier. Potential threat to Earth. Alright, let's get to the big question. Could a supernova actually wipe us out? The short answer, yes, but only if it's close enough. The real danger zone is about 25 light-years from Earth. If a star within this range explodes, we could be in serious trouble. But how exactly? First, say goodbye to the ozone layer, our planet's protective shield against harmful space radiation. A nearby supernova would blast Earth with high-energy gamma rays and X-rays, stripping away the ozone like peeling off a fragile layer of skin. And once that's gone, deadly ultraviolet rays from the sun would flood the surface, increasing radiation levels and mutating DNA. Imagine crops failing, ecosystems collapsing, and a world suddenly more hostile to life. And that's not even the worst part. Supernovae also unleash a cosmic tsunami of charged particles, bombarding Earth's atmosphere for thousands of years. This could disrupt weather patterns, trigger climate shifts, and even spark mass extinctions, just like the ones that might have happened millions of years ago. So, should we be worried? Well, let's just say we're keeping an eye on a few stars that could go boom any day now. And trust me, you'll want to know which ones are on that list. Historical supernovae. Believe it or not, Earth has already been hit by the echoes of supernovae, and the evidence is hiding right beneath our feet. Scientists have discovered traces of iron-60, a rare radioactive isotope, buried deep in ocean sediments and Antarctic ice. Why is this important? Because iron-60 doesn't naturally occur on Earth, it comes from exploding stars. Around 2 to 3 million years ago, a series of supernovae went off just 150 light-years away, practically next door in cosmic terms. These blasts likely showered Earth with radiation, possibly triggering climate changes, and even contributing to an ancient marine extinction. Imagine massive cosmic waves of energy sweeping across space, subtly reshaping life as we know it. And let's not forget the supernova of 1054 AD, one of the brightest cosmic events ever witnessed by humans. Ancient Chinese and Arab astronomers recorded a mysterious guest star that shone so brightly, it was visible in daylight for weeks. That explosion left behind the famous Crab Nebula, a swirling remnant still expanding today. So, while we've never experienced a doomsday-level supernova, the scars of past stellar explosions are all around us, in the rocks, in the sky, and maybe even in our own evolutionary history. The real question is, when's the next one coming? Current nearby supernova candidates. Alright, here's the big question. Are there any stars out there just waiting to explode? The answer, yes. And some of them are closer than you'd like. Let's start with the most famous ticking time bomb, Betelgeuse. You've seen it before, it's the bright reddish star in Orion's shoulder. And guess what? It's on its last breath. Astronomers have been watching it closely because it's been dimming unpredictably, which could mean it's getting ready to go boom! But before you panic, Betelgeuse is about 640 light-years away, too far to hurt us when it finally explodes. But when it does, it'll shine so brightly that we could see it during the day for weeks. Another dangerous suspect? Eta Carinae. This monster star, 100 times the mass of the Sun, has already had a near-explosion event in the 1800s. It's unstable, unpredictable, and one of the best candidates for the next supernova in our galaxy. The good news? It's 7,500 light-years away, a safe distance but still close enough to be spectacular. So, should we be worried? Not yet. The most dangerous supernova would have to be within 25 light-years to really mess with Earth, and right now, we don't have any stars in that danger zone. But the universe is full of surprises, and space is a very unpredictable place. Frequency of dangerous supernovae. So, how often does a supernova actually threaten Earth? Should we be looking up at the sky in fear, waiting for the next cosmic explosion to wipe us out? The good news? Not really. The bad news? It has happened before. Astronomers estimate that a supernova explodes somewhere in the Milky Way about once every 50 years. But for a supernova to be close enough to harm Earth, meaning within 25 light-years, that's much, much rarer. Studies suggest that an extinction-level supernova happens only once every 100 million years or so. That's about the same frequency as major asteroid impacts. So, while it's possible, it's not something we need to lose sleep over. The last time Earth might have felt the effects of a nearby supernova was around 2 to 3 million years ago. Some researchers believe it played a role in cooling the planet and even influencing early human evolution. But as far as a true civilization-ending event, it's unlikely to happen in our lifetimes. So, while the idea of a nearby supernova wiping us out is terrifying, the universe isn't that cruel, at least not yet. But hey, space is full of surprises, and we're just tiny passengers on this cosmic ride. Gamma-ray bursts. Alright, forget supernovae for a second. There's something even scarier lurking in the universe. Something so powerful, it could wipe out life on Earth in seconds without warning. Meet the gamma-ray burst. Gamma-ray bursts are like supercharged cosmic death rays. When some massive stars explode or when two neutron stars collide, they unleash an ultra-powerful beam of radiation that can travel across galaxies. If Earth were ever caught in the crosshairs of one, game over. Unlike a regular supernova, which mostly affects its surroundings, a GRB fires a focused beam of deadly gamma radiation in a straight line, frying everything in its path. If one of these bursts hit Earth, it could strip away the ozone layer, exposing us to lethal UV radiation from the sun. Within days, crops would fail, ecosystems would collapse, and mass extinctions could begin. Scary, right? The good news? Most GRBs happen in distant galaxies, far from us. The bad news? If a GRB were to erupt within 6,000 light-years of Earth and its beam was pointed our way, we'd have zero warning. 1 second, life is normal, the next, the planet is bathed in deadly radiation. So, are we safe? For now. But space is unpredictable and the universe isn't exactly known for playing fair. So, should we be worried about a supernova wiping us out? Probably not anytime soon. But the universe is full of surprises and space is far more unpredictable than we think. One thing's for sure, our planet is just a tiny speck in a vast, explosive cosmos. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysteries of space, make sure to subscribe to InnoVision Tech for more mind-blowing science and futuristic tech content. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and let's keep exploring the universe together. Imagine waking up one day, only to realize the universe itself has turned against us. No warnings, no second chances, just pure, unstoppable destruction. From fiery solar explosions to invisible death rays from space, the cosmos is filled with forces powerful enough to wipe out humanity in an instant. Scary? Absolutely. But what's even scarier? Some of these threats are completely unpredictable. Today, we're diving into the 7 most terrifying cosmic events that could end life as we know it. So buckle up, because once you hear these, you might never look at the night sky the same way again. Asteroid impacts. Imagine this. You're enjoying your morning coffee, scrolling through your phone, when suddenly, news headlines scream, "Massive asteroid detected on a collision course with Earth." Panic sets in, scientists scramble, governments go silent, and all you can do is watch as a giant space rock, possibly the size of a city, barrels toward our planet at tens of thousands of miles per hour. Sounds like a sci-fi movie, right? But here's the terrifying truth. This has happened before, and it could happen again. 65 million years ago, an asteroid roughly 6 miles wide slammed into what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, triggering a firestorm that wiped out the dinosaurs. If something similar happened today, the results would be even more catastrophic. The impact would unleash energy equivalent to billions of nuclear bombs. First, there'd be an explosion so powerful that anything within hundreds of miles of ground zero would be instantly vaporized. Shockwaves would rip through the planet, causing massive earthquakes and tsunamis that could swallow entire coastlines. But the worst part? The aftermath. Dust and debris would fill the atmosphere, blocking out the sun for months, maybe even years. Temperatures would plummet, crops would fail, a global winter could starve millions, and the scary part? We've had close calls. Asteroids like Apophis and 2012 DA-14 have brushed past Earth in recent years. NASA and other space agencies monitor these threats, but not all of them are detected in time. So, what if the one that ends us is already on its way? Gamma-ray bursts. Imagine waking up one morning, stepping outside, and feeling an eerie silence. No birds chirping, no wind, just an unsettling stillness. Then, in an instant, a blinding flash erupts in the sky. You don't hear a sound, but in that moment, the fate of Earth is sealed. You've just witnessed a gamma-ray burst, one of the most violent and deadly phenomena in the universe. Gamma-ray bursts are cosmic death rays, unleashed when massive stars collapse into black holes, or when neutron stars violently merge. These bursts can release more energy in a few seconds than the sun will in its entire lifetime. If a GRB were to occur in our galactic neighborhood, and was aimed directly at Earth, it would be like setting off 1 billion nuclear bombs. But instead of an explosion, the danger comes from invisible radiation. The first thing it would do is strip away our ozone layer, the only thing protecting us from deadly space radiation. Without it, ultraviolet rays from the sun would scorch the planet, leading to mass extinctions. Plants would wither, animals would die, and humans, well, let's just say sunscreen won't save you. Scientists believe that a past gamma-ray burst may have caused a mass extinction event on Earth hundreds of millions of years ago. The scariest part? We wouldn't even see it coming. It would travel at the speed of light, and by the time we noticed it, it'd already be over. Supernova explosions. We think of stars as distant, twinkling lights in the sky, but don't be fooled. Some of them are ticking time bombs, and when one of these colossal stars reaches the end of its life, it goes out with a bang. Literally. A supernova explosion is one of the most powerful forces in the universe, capable of outshining entire galaxies. But if a nearby star were to go supernova, it wouldn't just be a spectacle, it would be our doom. The first thing that would happen? A deadly burst of radiation. X-rays and gamma rays would flood our planet, damaging DNA, causing mutations, and wiping out entire species. But the real horror starts in the atmosphere. The blast would shred our ozone layer, leaving us vulnerable to the sun's lethal radiation. In a matter of months, crops would fail, food chains would collapse, and survival would become a desperate fight against a planet turning hostile. So, how close would a star need to be to threaten us? Scientists say about 50 light-years away. Thankfully, no known stars that close are expected to explode anytime soon. But space is unpredictable. Betelgeuse, one of the largest stars visible in our night sky, is a prime supernova candidate. And while it's far enough away to not directly harm us, it serves as a chilling reminder. Somewhere, sometime, a supernova will happen close enough to spell our end. The only question is, when? Rogue black holes. We've all heard of black holes, massive invisible monsters lurking in space, devouring everything that comes too close. But what if I told you there are rogue black holes, wandering the galaxy like cosmic predators, unseen and unstoppable. One could be heading our way right now and we'd have no idea. Unlike the supermassive black holes at the centers of galaxies, rogue black holes are smaller but no less terrifying. They drift through space after being ejected from their home systems, traveling at mind-blowing speeds. If one were to pass through our solar system, it wouldn't need to suck us in to destroy us. Its immense gravity could distort planetary orbits, sending Earth spiraling toward the sun or hurling us into the cold abyss of deep space. Either way, life as we know it would be over. And the scariest part? We can't easily detect them. Black holes don't emit light, making them nearly impossible to spot against the darkness of space. Scientists estimate that there could be millions of these nomadic nightmares roaming the Milky Way. So while we gaze at the stars, wondering what lies beyond, an unseen destroyer might already be approaching, and by the time we realize it, escape will be impossible. Solar superflares. The sun, our life-giving star, the reason we exist. But what if the very thing keeping us alive suddenly turned against us? Imagine waking up to a world without electricity, no internet, no phones, no running water, no cars, a complete and total blackout. This isn't a dystopian fantasy, it's what could happen if the sun unleashed a solar superflare. Solar flares are bursts of energy from the sun, and while we experience small ones regularly, a superflare would be a completely different beast. If one were to hit Earth, the first thing we'd notice is an eerie, ghostly aurora lighting up the sky, even in places that never see the northern lights. Beautiful? Yes. Terrifying? Absolutely. Because within hours the radiation would fry satellites, knock out power grids, and disrupt everything from GPS to banking systems. But that's just the start. A powerful enough solar storm could heat up the atmosphere, expand it, and cause space debris and satellites to spiral downward, crashing back to Earth. The worst-case scenario? The Carrington event, a solar storm that hit Earth in 1859, was so powerful that telegraph wires caught fire. If something that's strong or worse happened today, it would send us back to the Dark Ages. Billions could struggle to survive without power, food supply chains would collapse, and modern civilization as we know it would be on the brink of total chaos. The sun gives life, but one bad flare and it could take it all away. Cosmic collisions. We tend to think of space as an endless void, but in reality, it's a cosmic battlefield. A place where galaxies, stars, and planets are constantly moving, sometimes colliding in spectacularly destructive ways. And Earth? We're just a tiny, fragile speck caught in the middle of it all. Now you might be thinking, how could we possibly collide with something out there? Space is massive. Well, tell that to the Andromeda Galaxy, which is currently on a direct collision course with the Milky Way. That's right, our entire galaxy is set to merge with Andromeda in about 4.5 billion years. When that happens, stars will be ripped apart, solar systems will be flung into the void, and Earth could be thrown out of orbit entirely. But we don't need to wait billions of years for destruction. There are rogue planets, massive, Jupiter-sized worlds that have been ejected from their home systems, wandering aimlessly through space. If one of these dark, frozen giants passed too close to our solar system, it could alter the orbits of planets, sending Earth tumbling toward the sun, or out into deep space where we'd freeze to death. Space isn't just vast, it's dangerous. And the worst part? These collisions don't announce themselves, they just happen. Vacuum decay. Alright, buckle up, because this one is the most mind-bending of them all. Forget asteroids, black holes, or gamma-ray bursts. This is the end of everything. The universe as we know it might not be stable. In fact, some physicists believe that we're living in what's called a false vacuum, a delicate, temporary state that could collapse at any moment. And when it does, game over. It's called vacuum decay, and it starts with a quantum event so random, so unpredictable, that it could have already happened somewhere in the universe. If it did, it would create a tiny bubble of true vacuum, expanding at the speed of light. The moment this bubble reaches us, reality as we know it ceases to exist. No warning, no escape, just instant annihilation. Imagine looking at the night sky and suddenly, nothing. The stars blink out, the planets vanish, and in less than a fraction of a second, the laws of physics rewrite themselves. The terrifying part, there's no way to predict it, there's no way to stop it. It could happen a billion years from now, or right now, and if it did, you wouldn't even have time to realize it. 1 second you're here, the next, you're erased from existence along with everything else. Sounds terrifying, right? But hey, at least with vacuum decay we'd never see it coming. So, sweet dreams if you can still sleep after this. Space is vast, beautiful, and absolutely terrifying. While these cosmic threats sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, they're very real possibilities, though thankfully most are unlikely to happen anytime soon. But the more we explore the universe, the better we can prepare for the unknown. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysteries of space, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more mind-blowing science and tech content. This is InnoVision Tech, and we'll see you in the next video, if the universe doesn't get us first.